I would be breaking the law.
What if I took you hostage? I mean, like, with your permission.
What kind of conversation is this?
You're gonna love him.
I'm gonna go with Ben Affleck, House and Home, or Steve Weintraub, Collider. How are you guys doing?
What's up, Steve? You didn't make the trip, huh? We're doing this by Zoom?
You know what's really fucked up, man? I'm from Boston, and it absolutely kills me that I'm not there, but you can't tell behind me, but I'm in San Diego at Comic-Con.
Oh,
we have a
I can tell. I know that curtain behind you. You kidding me?
No, like it really does kill me. Like I just can't believe it. You know what I mean?
You're missing a beautiful day in Boston too, dude. It's really nice.
I'm sweating my ass off in San Diego.
How's Comic-Con going?
It would be better if you guys were here promoting, but it's going to be good. I'm actually moderating a panel called Directors on Directing. I have Antoine Fuqua and Roland Emmerich.
Oh,
in
cool.
about 2 hours, I'm on the Hall H stage.
Oh, wow. All right.
So anyway, enough about me.
Well, don't fuck it up.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So
it's just Hall H. Don't worry about it.
You know something? I've done it a bunch of times. It's actually it's not that bad. It's just weird when you walk out and there's 7,000 people.
Yeah.
It's like, it is a little weird.
It is massive.
Yeah. So I got the most important question up front. And by the way, all my questions are stupid. So when you are, you'll see. So you're filming on the streets in Boston. How many people are coming up to you saying, oh, so you guys are finally making that Good Will Hunting sequel?
I don't think were we accused of making a Good Will Hunting sequel?
I never got that one.
I don't think we got it. I think people were smart enough to know we're never going to make a sequel to that movie.
Listen, I've learned something. Never say never in this business.
That's fair. All right, that's fair. Who knows? We might be really desperate someday. And
look, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. He swore he was done, and then
they brought him back.
They brought him back. We could maybe there's a multiverse where Goodwill comes back
with Wolverine and Deadpool.
So, like I said, I'm at Comic-Con, and I am curious for the three of you. Is there anything that you actually collect? If you were at Comic-Con, would you be walking around looking to buy something?
I don't know what they have. I've not been to Comic-Con. I collect first edition books and still have my comic book collection from when I was a kid, but I don't buy them anymore.
I don't collect anything, actually.
I collect bad reviews. Got a couple of those.
I do that too.
Got a couple with Steve Weintraub's name on top. But
I throw them away. I don't collect them.
No. All the reviews on Collider are somebody else. I take no responsibility.
I have not had the pleasure of going to Comic-Con, and
you don't collect anything?
I don't collect anything. But I have little kids, a 3-year-old, so maybe soon I will start collecting something. I'm not sure.
Someone will be asking for something soon.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. So I'm curious for all three of you, what is a real question? What is a scene, or what do you consider the toughest scene or sequence of your career thus far in terms of whatever it entailed, whether it be like a weird oneer or the action, or you had one take to get it right? Is there one scene or sequence that you think is the hardest of your career?
Jeez,
wow, that's an excellent question. I know I'm going to kick myself later because I'll think of something, but but one thing that was really hard for me was there was a scene in the second Bourne movie where my car goes into a river, and and Franca's been shot, and I realize she's dead, and this is all happening underwater, and then I got to go get air from the car, from an air pocket. But it all happened underwater, and so that one, I spent a couple months in a swimming pool after work every day, just practicing with the stunt guys being underwater and getting my air taken away. And they gave me, it was really smart what they did. They gave me little tasks like tying a shoe underwater or little things and they built a car out of PVC pipe so I could swim up and out if I had to, but just to be used to being in an enclosed area underwater. And they just worked with me to get me comfortable underwater in an enclosed space so that when we finally did, because when we shot it in this tank, they put milk in the tank in the water to make it look like river water and particulate and all this stuff. So you couldn't really see. So I was just getting ready to be able to be underwater in an enclosed space without any vision. And that was like, so that took a while. I mean, it wasn't hard when we shot it because we shot it relatively easily because I'd worked so hard in prep, but it kept me up at night a lot. So that was definitely a one that got my attention.
That's a good one. I was just sitting, I'd never thought about that, but while Matt was talking, I wasn't listening. I was just thinking of my own stories. And I was thinking, it's kind of fun to think about how the old, super difficult sequences now without all the emotion attached to it of feeling like a failure. But I got two for you. One was I was supposed to, on Gone Baby Gone, discover there was someone who had taken a child, and the child had ended up dying, and I found that. And it was very, and I was trying to imagine what would that reaction be, because it wasn't scripted as it being anything one way or the other. And I thought, I saw the dummy that they were using. It was just so horrible. I thought it would be upsetting. I would vomit. So I said that I would think this is what's going to happen. I'm going to vomit. I didn't want to do it like with a can of soup or some tube behind my head. I wanted to be able to do it, turn around, do it. I'm looking at this way at the body and then turn this way. So I wanted to really just do it. So I just ate a lot I filled my stomach and then I drank as much liquid as I could, but I've got a really strong stomach for some reason. And so I went up there and it was like take after take of trying to vomit and then not working. So putting in more liquid and more food, trying to like sort of finger gag. And then it was kind of like, damn it, that's not going to work. We're going to have to figure something else out. But I had determined to have that be the sort of what felt like the real response. And so we paused to sort of reset what was going to happen, to move the camera so that I could find it one way, do it in a separate shot. And in that reset, it just rose up on me and I puked while they were moving the camera just like a gallon. And so that was an enormously difficult physically. And also I felt like a disappointment. So it was hard on me.
That's a horrible story.
That's a bad story. I got another one for you, which was that was in the Assassination of Jesse James. Typically audition scenes are very hard. I don't know, just because you've done it once, you've done it well, and then months later you have to redo it again. I had auditioned for that movie many times to try to get it. And so I knew this one long monologue, which he's already killed Jesse James. And now he's tried to remake his life and he's living in the mountains. And the way he's remade his life is, it was the late 19th century. He's got a few brothels and he's in this little mining town. And some young woman has come to work for him. And he's telling her, don't work for me. Anyway, it's a really long monologue. And we were in the Rockies in Canada at night in the winter. And it's period clothing. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying those are the circumstances. It was like minus 50. And I had to deliver this monologue that I already had done. Felt like I'd done well in the audition process. I was not doing it. And the director is a madman for like 1,000 takes. And I just thought I couldn't feel my face. I couldn't feel my limbs. And I was like having to say it over and over and over and over again. And I was looking around at the faces of the crew and everyone hating me for not getting it right. And then finally, the sun came up and it felt like I just never got that important scene right. And the director came up and I said, I'm so sorry. And he was like, man, I think we got it in take one. And I was like, well, why did you just put me through hell? And he was like, I want to see if we can get better. And that was it. So those are two difficult sequences. What do you got on?
Wow. Okay. I guess, with Downsizing, that was like my first like really big role. And I'm just thinking specifically of that monologue where we're at the kitchen table with Christoph Waltz
Oh
and
my
Guido
God.
Kier, and they very unkindly scheduled it for right after lunch. And so I'm my worst after lunch after eating a meal. And so I was kind of like worried about that and just remembering how, I just like was so, I don't know if I ate because I was afraid of getting like food coma.
You got it in one take.
That you get after lunch.
You got it in the first take, and then he had you do another one, which was equally incredible. And then he can shoot takes if he needs them,
Yeah.
and it was so good. And then the corresponding shot was a 3-shot of Ula Christoph and me sitting there, just like stunned. Oh man, I remember that so well.
Yeah, but I just remembered that it was like after lunch, and I was like, oh my
What's so crazy to me
Screwed.
is I remember that and being like a sign of like a virtuosic talent. Like I remember it not seeming hard to you, and it was such a hard monologue, and you crushed it so completely that I was like, wow, maybe some people things aren't hard for them or something. Like,
No, it was hard. It was hard. I was definitely white knuckling that one.
wow.
I'm out of time, which kills me because I had about 5 other questions, including questions about this movie. So I'm just going to say congrats. And I wish I had more time and drink some Dunkin' Donuts for me.
You got it, dude. You got it. Have fun in San Diego. And you shouldn't
Thanks.
ask
You guys
such
have a
great
great-
questions if you don't want such long freaking answers, man.
Listen, something? Here's the thing. Like, I think that, and I know I got to go, but like, I think that the people watching, they're going to be able to hear you talk about the movie. Like, my Collider knows what this movie's about. Like, they don't need you to tell what the characters are.
Yeah.
Like, they want to, you know what I mean? They want to hear stories about making movies and like,
Dude, you got the real shit. Yeah. That was the completely unique interview. It was awesome.
Thank you so much.
Even if you weren't in the room like a professional journalist would be.
Right. Listen, I swear to you, I wanted to be there. You guys, seriously, have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Steve.
man.
See you soon,
Thanks.
man. Thank you.